Daniel Garcia's AEW future is in question. The confidence surrounding Daniel Garcia re-signing with AEW isn't as strong as it was a month ago. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer Radio reported that the strong belief within AEW that Garcia would resign has weakened, though nothing is confirmed yet. His contract is expiring soon. Ibu from Russell Pura said WWE is horny to sign Daniel Garcia. I don't know what that means. But man, he's holding out for more money, man, and God bless him. Make the billionaires pay for you, because whatever he's getting, I don't know that they'll get the return on investment. That's not to say he's not a great talent. He is, but this guy might be making big time dough coming up here pretty soon.
For a mid-carder, it's impressive. I know WWE wants another win over AEW. I know all your WWE fans, they like to pretend like they don't care. They care a lot.
Yeah.
Because they were bitching about how much Tony offered them, and then they decided, hey, we really want. Someone just texted us that thinks Garcia might be leaving. We don't know. If I were him, I wouldn't leave. I don't think he fits into the NXT system.
Honestly, his dance will get over. I'm telling you. Like he'll do the dance.
He'll do the dance,
and it'll get over. But that's what he's gonna be, though. He's gonna be a geek, like a dancing fool.
I just don't think he's got a small frame, and he's not Ben. What do they call Ben Carter? Nathan Frazier. Yeah. Like he's not a high flyer. He's got some fire, but I don't know if I don't think he's particularly charismatic. I think that he showed a lot of heart and fire in that MJF match and showed that he could be an undersized babyface. But in the land of the giants, I don't know. I mean, Bryan Danielson proved he could do it, but Bryan Danielson, I think, I know for a fact, has a much bigger personality than Daniel Garcia. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I really do think he would get over in NXT just fine. But that's it.
Yeah.
I
would over NXT. Like that ain't hard.
Yeah. So I think that he would come in. They'd probably do a title thing, and I think he really would get over. If I were him, if I were advising him, I would say get all the Tony Khan is throwing money around like it's crazy. Get some of that money. He's going to outbid WWE for your services. But I could see why he would want to go to NXT. There's a lot of people there that maybe he can get close to and really have a lot of fun with in that company.
You think that I see this like he should sign with NXT because they got a lot of hot chicks there, and I'm like, I think it's a massive step down for him career wise, because I think that, let's be real, Ethan Page is never leaving NXT.
No.
Like, and if he goes to the roster, he's like a lesser Bobby Roode, you know?
I think they brought him in to be a kind of a player coach anyway. So he's probably happy to do that. He didn't have to travel. Mm-hmm. I think he already lives in Orlando. So he just drives to work once a week and then comes in and does training and stuff and helps train the young guys. I think that's a good spot for him. So I don't know. I don't know what's going through the guy's head, but if he just squeezing these people out of money, more power to him.
Absolutely.
Get paid, young man. Get paid.
Absolutely. I think now, I think some other people should be looking to go back to WWE pretty soon. Perhaps Miro. Or is Miro
did we not? Yeah, we didn't talk about Miro last week. I did a whole thing on him on Brace for Impact because it had just broken. What are your thoughts about Miro asking for his release? Do you think Tony should give it to him?
Miro, yeah, I should. I totally think he should. They haven't used him in over a year. He had a good run initially. He really did. Like the Redeemer character, it got over, it worked. Miro's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Like Tony signed a lot of people. Like we have a friend who said that Vince would poison the well that Vince would poison the well and release some people that would be malcontents in that locker room. And boy, you got it. It didn't work. I think that the people who aren't happy there should leave. Like it should be allowed to leave, because remember when Jim Cornette used to bitch about All Friends Wrestling? All friends are all just happy. Nobody wants to make money. And then everybody was miserable. And it was, look at how miserable everybody is over there. They can't run anything. So it's like, you can't have it both ways, but they're both fucking pieces of shit. So like, that's how it goes. So I think that you should release Miro. If you don't want to be there and he keeps shitting on every time they pitch him an idea. He's like, I don't want to do that. It cost him his marriage. Like let the guy go.
Yeah. I'm always of the opinion, like even in the military, we typically hold people to their contracts, but I'm very much like, I'm not into recruiting hostages, right? If you want to come in, you want to be a part of this thing, you want to be happy, great. If you're going to be a malcontent, you can go be a malcontent somewhere else, especially if you're not like a tippy top guy. Now it's different. Like if John Moxley walks in one day, he's like, I want my release. Like, okay, no, because that's a difference maker. If that guy, you really give that guy a conditional release and he goes to WWE, you're fucking yourself over and you're helping out the competition. That's different. But a guy like Miro, it's like, oh, okay, you're just gonna sit in Bulgaria for a year and get paid 6-figure or 7 figures, whatever it is. Just release the guy, let him go.
I don't
Like,
think Miro's
and
gonna get that figures.
yeah, and we I know on our show, and I know it was like a popular thing on like some of the message boards. People still do the message boards, but Discords and Twitter, when guys like Andrade and Buddy Murphy and Mustafa Ali and all these other guys and FTR were asking for their release from WWE, we were saying the same thing about them, and we were saying that they're being held hostage. Although I don't like using that word anymore. But we were saying WWE is bad for holding these guys against their will when they want to leave and go elsewhere. Now, I don't know that Tony's going to release him or not, but I would say if he refuses to release the guy out of spite and pettiness, I would say that I criticize WWE for doing the same thing, so I think he's owed that same criticism. So just release the guy.
So here's what I'll push back on that. I think at the time when with WWE, they make them come to the shows and they make them sit there. Right. So at that point, I'm like, all right, if you're not going to let the guys work and they have to travel, let them go. Triple H and those guys created problems in that locker room. Like he called people and actively told them, if you can get a release, we'll come back. Like they actively tried to disrupt the workflow over there. So, I mean, so I can kind of get Tony go, nope, just go home. Which is what he did. So, I mean, like
those guys are getting paid very well to eat very good food and catering.
They don't know this thing. Like they don't even eat catering. They don't come to the shows.
Right.
The guys in WWE eat catering and just I understand wanting to work.
Yeah.
But I also can get on board with the soft suspension if you're going to be a shit stirrer in the locker room. And at that point, they had a lot of shit stirrers in the AEW locker room.
Is it really suspension if you're still getting paid? I know you can get paid. You can get suspended with pay.
I said soft suspension.
Yeah.
Because but that causes legal problems. Why would you suspend them? What grounds do you have to suspend people?
Yeah. You really don't. Unless he's doing something like if his only sin is turning down creative ideas, and who are we to judge whether or not those were good or not?
True.
You know what I mean? Then at the end of the day, if you guys can't work together, you can't work together. And you're just and look, I think he's an idiot for asking for his release because he's getting paid to sit at home. That's awesome. But he might have that itch again, and he's like, I think I can contribute, and people are forgetting about me, and we are. And so he leaked to whoever, probably Sav or somebody, that he's asking for his release. I think Tony should just give it to him because I don't think it's I think it only does good for your company to get rid of a guy like that.
At this point, I would agree with you. When they were calling people and saying you should get your release, you should get your release, you should get your release, sowing seeds of discontent.
Yeah.
I at the time, and I said this at the time, I said, no, screw him.
Yeah.
Because again, you had a real problem in your locker room. Now, all of a sudden, the locker room in AEW isn't so leaky anymore. Like we have people in certain spots that aren't getting leaked information that they used to get. I wonder why that is. I wonder who could have changed. I wonder what cult of personality could have been stirring shit. Yeah. So, like, it seems to me there's not as many problems there anymore. Now, the company's a lot colder, so I mean, like, their mission was accomplished. Like, right? They took them down a peg.
They did. They really did poison the well.
They did.
We're gonna send these assholes, Miro and Andrade. They didn't send Punk over there, but Tony willingly signed Punk himself. But
we talked about that, how they had to do that at the time.
Yeah. No. I 10 times out of 10, I would have done the same thing.
And Punk's proven to be nothing but a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Like Punk is nothing but a tremendous hypocrite. And he's shown it time again. Like, I'll never go back to WWE. I hate to, I've come back to professional wrestling, and everything was super rah-rah AEW until he left. And he's like, and it's the same stuff. Like at some point, the problem isn't with everyone else.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to make progress when you're carrying around a bunch of bullshit. Speaking of bullshit, Malakai Black's contract is set to expire soon. This is coming from one Raj Giri. Just breaking the story, so we'll take that one with a grain of salt. But apparently his deal, his new report suggests Black's contract is actually set to expire early next year. AEW, this is according to Raj, is working hard to re-sign Black, and sources indicate that there is a significant interest from outside AEW. I wonder what outside AEW means, including WWE.
Where his wife works.
Yeah.
Let him go.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was surprised to see him sign Soraya, and then I wasn't surprised to see that this report was coming out that Malakai Black's contract was coming up. I was surprised that Raj is saying that Tony Khan is trying to re-sign him because he's another guy.
Okay, let's
Lesser extent,
hold on,
but
hold on, hold on.
still,
Soraya is. We haven't heard bad news about Soraya. Soraya's been a team player and has been. We haven't
yeah.
heard any bad words about Soraya, so she
No,
could
she
be
just stinks.
she's terrible, but
Yeah.
she's probably well liked. And like, you want to have people around that are well liked. Like, this is a controversial statement on wrestling fans, but having good people around makes your work environment better. Like, sometimes people aren't great at their job, but they're generally enjoyable to be around and they make work more fun. Maybe she's one of those people and people generally like having her around. In which case, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Malakai Black ain't that guy. Like, that
No.
guy makes people miserable. So, now here's what I was going to say. Is Tony Khan actively working to re-sign him, or is that what Raj is saying, that
That's what.
Malakai is telling him to up
Yeah.
his value to WWE?
Yes. Like I said, the report come from Raj Giri. All right, not exactly a reputable investigative journalist, right? Very much guy. He reports fast. If you report fast nationals, you have no dignity, right? Like, he's a gentle guy, and he's probably helping out Malakai Black here to up his stock.
Remember when our old boss texted us, "I can't believe Raj hasn't blocked you two yet."
Yeah. So yeah, Malakai looks like his deal is coming up. Who knows what that's going to look like? AJ Styles' WWE contract is expiring soon. Many within the industry believe his contract set to expire either later this year or early in 2025. This is according to Fightful Select. He said Styles may be considering his next step, with AEW rumored to be a potential landing spot. Again, AJ Styles, one of my all-time favorites, also pushing 50.
Looks great for 50.
Yeah. He's got some science going on there.
Those creams you rub into your body, like, they really help. I love AJ Styles. He's one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. Like, I remember 2016 when he debuted in the Rumble. It was like a massive moment as a fan. That was one of those moments that, as a fan of pro wrestling, you felt like vindicated. Like, oh, they get it. They signed one of our guys. He's had a solid career there. If he decides to leave, cool. He had nothing to prove. I don't want him in. If this is 2019 when the company started and they almost signed AJ, we've heard those stories.
Yeah.
Different story. Now,
yeah, it's like, again, it's the Bobby Lashley thing. I love Bobby Lashley.
Me too.
I want something different from AEW. That's why I started following the company, because they were going to do something different. Now, are you going to tell me that maybe I can get a Bryan Danielson versus AJ Styles match with the governor chip off, and not being overproduced by some hack? Would I be into that? Of course I'd be into that. But I just don't know that this company, that's the direction this company needs to go in.
Now, I'll say this. When they have brought in WWE guys, very rarely are they pushed, like these guys, very rarely are they pushed to the top. You could say they want something different. Dude, I watched Swerve Strickland and Adam Page stick needles in each other. Like, that's different. Like, say what you want about AEW. That is not WWE. So, I mean, like, and the guys that have had success in this company transitioning, your John Moxleys, your Swerve Stricklands, guys that are willing to reinvent themselves and do something different. Even Chris Jericho to an extent. Adam Copeland even, right, came in, and we were kind of before he was an idiot. I thought he was having a tremendous run in AEW. He at that point in the company before he got it, he was probably my favorite guy to watch on AEW TV for a while there, because he really had found a new gear in himself. So I don't want to crap on everybody that wants to come over here, but I mean, like, a lot of miles on AJ's body,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and again, it's just another guy pushing 50 coming into the company that's already got probably too many people. Now, I'm not saying, like, business wise, Tony shouldn't be signing all these people. It's his money. He's getting ready to sign a new TV deal. He has the money to do it. So have fun, get paid, talent, whatever you're gonna do. I'm just like, I just don't know that I don't know. This isn't what I want out of Dave. Out of
Mm,
it.
I agree. Now, I don't think they have,
I'd rather him go around the Indies and find young, fresh talent that's exciting.
I mean, they do have young, fresh talent that's exciting. Like they just signed Michael Oku, who we haven't even had a chance to look at yet, right? So
Yeah.
there are young, fresh guys. Like Hologram is over with the AEW fan base. Like people dig that guy. So I mean, like they do have those guys. You can't push those dudes right away. So I mean, like I do think they are doing that. And at the same, and I get why they need TV ratings. So I get why they want to bring in some of these WW guys. I understand. I don't think they have too many guys because they do cycle people in and out, right? There is like not necessarily an off season, but guys disappear for months at a time
Yeah,
because
they do.
because that's the way he wants it. Like we have to just accept the fact that people are going to disappear from AEW TV and they have a next man up, or yeah, AEW TV, and they have a next man up attitude. Like that's just the way this company goes, right? They do work in time off for almost all of their featured players. So I do think it can work in that regard. Now, here's what I would want. If you're going to bring AJ in, bring him in for like a 4-month run and let him put over Will Ospreay and a
Yeah.
big pay-per-view. And then he gets to ride off into the sunset. I'm okay with that. I don't want to see a 5-year deal with AJ Styles where he's taking TV time away from
Yeah.
Kyle Fletcher or Michael Oku, something like that.
I think they should do more of that. Kind of like what TNA would do.
Yeah,
They would bring, like how they brought in Jonah for 6 months and then he went back, and then they would bring in other people for like 3 or 4 months at a time and sign these short-term contracts. They give them a push to the main event and they would just leave.
We just got a text from a friend of ours that said All Elite Witness Protection Program.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. All right, guys. Hey, that was all the stories that I have. So let's go ahead and go to the chat. I have not gone to the chat very much tonight. The chat was not really booming all that much, but John Muse is in the chat.
Oh, hey.
Which the Piper face turn came right after someone stabbing him because of how much heat he had.
Piper got stabbed a couple times, didn't he?
I'm sure he did. He probably got stabbed once and like it was a flesh wound, but told everybody like I got stabbed 36 times.
For wrestler stories, yeah.
Yeah. That wrestler stories are oftentimes old fishing stories, which you're going to like when you watch the Vince doc, you're going to get the typical every Hulk Hogan story you've ever heard. And then he finally told the truth about something one time. Finally, he revealed the truth on something that we've known forever, but he has been denying it. And he finally admitted to doing something dastardly in the documentary.
Spoiler.
Spoil it? Okay. So I can't remember if it was episode 2. Episode 2. Hulk Hogan admitted that he was the one that ratted out Jesse Ventura for starting a union.
Oh, we all knew that.
Jesse but he never admitted it. Yeah. He denied it for 40 years.
I believe Jesse. Like I just did. I mean, Jesse's crazy, but like that made perfect sense when he told that. So
yeah. Let's see. Name cannot be blank. I like the idea of running Morocco Piper angle. Hell, I thought that they should have ran the Funk Flair angle to get to this match. Well, they ran the Funk Flair angle for Moxley and
Danielson. Like they did that, so they're doing that. You can't blame them for not running the Flair Funk angle. We're in the middle of it.
Yeah. Transferring heat.
I hope we get the what was it called, Thunderdome match where with a caught on fire, Muda had to put it out with the mist. That's one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Yeah. You ain't the only one tired of the Bucks. The match didn't pick up until Ospreay got in, and then the no sell, no kick out got the crowd. Yeah, I mean the crowd was all over for that stuff. They love that stuff. They eat it.
God loves that. People love kick out of too.
Kata. I don't know how to pronounce your name, sir, but did you guys watch the McMahon documentary? I actually was able to finish it this morning. We will be talking about it on patreon.com/the Mike and JD show. We'll do a full review. This coming up Sunday night. So stay tuned for that. Transferring heat did the math. Hurt Business combined age. I don't think combined age. I think you mean average age is. He said combined age 147. I didn't see the number 1.
If the average age is 147, they would all be around 150 years old. They'd have fought in the Civil War.
They'd be parting the Red Sea and shit like that. So, okay. Let me see. Norbert says Darby Allin is the new Crow. Well, he's definitely the new Sting. That's for sure.
Definitely the new Sting.
Yeah,
he is babyface in wrestling.
Yeah, he is definitely a dumb baby face. John Muse says, Brody King singles push, please.
Sign me up.
No, we need to bring in AJ Styles. Fuck Brody King. We need to bring in Bobby Lashley. We don't need more Brody King and all these other guys. We need more guys from WWE television to take up TV time. We can't be having these fresh stars getting over. Can't be doing it, guys.
Bummer.
Kata says AJ Styles does not need to be pushed in another company. Very talented at his age. No, I mean, I think at the end of the day, he's going to re-sign with WWE. I think he's the
Yeah,
life.
I don't think he's going. He's spoken about being very happy at WWE, so I don't think he's going anywhere either.
Yeah, but hey guys, I think that's gonna do it for us. We're clocking in just under 60 minutes. We did not go over, so thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate everybody. Head to patreon.com/the Mike and JD show. So I got a couple things on Patreon. So last week on Patreon, I wrote a. You guys can tell that I'm out of school right now and I'm taking the semester off because of the baby coming. So I've been doing a lot of writing on the Patreon. So last week I did a TNA article detailing the main event of Bound for Glory before the episode tonight of TNA Impact, where Joe Hendry defeated Frankie Kazarian to win the number one contendership spot to go to face Nick Nemeth at Bound for Glory. Well, I had read the spoilers and I went ahead and gave my thoughts and did a whole article on Patreon last week. I'm actually gonna update that one now that I'll be able to watch the match tonight. And then I will condense it down and I'm going to put it on the free tier of the Patreon for you guys to be able to check that out with now that the match is over and there's no spoilers to be spoiled. I also, like I said, I opened the show with a full-blown attendance recap of TNA's 2024, detailing their resurgence both before the NXT partnership and after the NXT partnership. And you can see where that big jump is. And I'll tell you what the turning point of the entire year for TNA was. That's on patreon.com/the Mike and JD show. I'll also be back with Brace for Impact this Saturday morning, recapping tonight's episode and whatever news breaks. TNA had tapings this weekend, Friday and Saturday in Spartanburg, South Carolina, but it got hurricaned out. So they had to postpone the tapings to Sunday, Monday. So we'll see if they actually get to those tapings. I don't know how that's going to work out, but I hope everybody stays safe over there in the hurricane, eye of the hurricane there in South Carolina. JD, you got anything for us before we head out?
I am so tired of grad school.
Yeah. Well, once JD's out of grad school, hopefully we'll get some more stuff coming to the Patreon. But until then, and until this weekend, JD and I are out. Mahalo.